Hi everybody. So it's Friday, which means it's new release day on our own website, and I just wanted to pop on here and go through some of the samples from our HobbyMaker shows on Tuesday. So I just wanted to thank everybody who tuned in, anyone who sent kind messages or liked our social media posts or bought something from the show. It's been a crazy week. Sharon did an amazing job with her demos and the orders just came flying in. So just to let you know, they've all been packed and collected, so they should be on their way to you, and hopefully you'll get your goodies soon, and I can't wait to see what you make with them. So make sure you tag us on your post on Instagram or Facebook, or for those of you, I know we've got lots of new followers on our Tracey Hey and Pals group on Facebook, so if you're part of that, please feel free to pop your posts on there using our products. It's a really friendly group and lots of inspiration on there, so I hope you find that useful. So I just thought it would be a good idea maybe to run through some of the samples that were on the show, because you don't always get a chance to see them in a lot of detail, and I just wanted to kind of show you perhaps how I've used some of the different stamps together just to create the samples that you might have seen on TV. So I'm going to start off with the Hey. This one is from using our Hey stamp set that was part of the new launch. So this will be live on our website this evening at about 6 o'clock. And all I've done with this one is I've just literally stamped the Hey. I've used a stamp platform so that I could get two different colours, like a sage green on the top and a kind of more olivey green on the bottom. And I've stamped it a few times just to build that ink up. And then I've used the thanks so much from the stamp set and over stamped it, and I've used some of the flowers just to add some extra interest. And then the fox on this is actually from the Envelopals stamp set. Let me just show you. So although this is obviously meant to be or it was designed that these animals would pop out of the envelope, obviously I've just used the fox and just stamped him on the corner there just to add a bit of extra interest. So that's that one, and that's just a cute little card. And then we've got this one here, which is using the Legen-dairy stamp set. So the cow, I've just watercoloured this using distress inks. I'm going to do some videos. I know people have asked me to share how I do the kind of fluffy technique on here, so I'm going to do that as soon as I get a chance, hopefully over the weekend. And then all I've done is I've used from the birthday pheasant set, I've used this stamp here, which is fast becoming one of my favourite stamps, and I've just white embossed it onto the card, and then I've inked using ink blending brushes, and I've just used, I think this was bundled sage and speckled egg that I've just used coming from both ends, left the white portion in the middle, and then this is just vellum that's that I've heat embossed sees the movement sentiment, and simple as that. So that's nice card. I love that colour scheme. This is bundled sage, is dungarees there as well. Then I've got this one, and again it's from the Legen-dairy set, the cow, and I've used the new scorched timber distress colour to colour him in, and it goes perfectly with our coffee and cream paper pad, which is actually sold out, but I'm expecting restocks of paper pads on Monday, so I'll be popping some extra stock of that on our website. And I've just literally stamped the sentiment through the middle there, so that goes really nicely together. Then I've got this one here as a tag, so I've used vellum on the top there, and underneath I've just used the foliage here, these elements and the berries here to create the background. I've also used some of the text stamp from our Words Cute, and all I've done is, instead of popping it on an acrylic block, I've just literally put my finger on the back, so it's just picking up just a tiny part of that. I'll show you so that you've got in fact I'll use my own stamp because I don't have to get that one out. So all I've done is I've just literally taken the stamp. You can see how well loved mine is, it's pretty filthy, but I just literally, so I would just use my finger, pick it up, pick some ink up off of the pad, just bend the other parts back, just pick up some ink like that, and then just stamp, just using your finger so you're not getting the full impression of the whole stamp. So that's how I've created that background, the text element on the background there. And then I've just used the vellum over the top just to kind of tone down that background a little bit so that the cow pops a little bit more. So the cow's from Legen-dairy and the sentiment as well. And And then I've used, let's have a look. I've used the flower and the leaves there is from the birthday pheasant set as well. So it's just combining the two stamp sets. So they work really nicely together, even though the birthday pheasant is more of a sketchy style and the Legen-dairy is like the double line style, it still works really lovely together. So that's that one. This one, I have to admit, I did put it on social media recently, but I think it's probably one of my favourites. So I've used the Sizzix Tim Holtz mini embossing folder for the brick wall here, and I've just used some distress ink over the top just to colour it so it's not bright white. And then these two little cows here are from our Coffee Cuties set. So again, it was designed so that the characters would pop out of the cups, but I've just used the cow and I've just coloured two of them so it looks like they're looking over the wall. And then this one is from our Legen-dairy set. This is our Heart Trail stencil. This may come to HobbyMaker at some point, but it is available on our own website if you want to get hold of that one. So that's again mixing up the two sets. Then I've got this one here where I've just masked off a section of the background and inked it, and then I've coloured the cow and the balloon from the Legen-dairy set in the same kind of colours. I think this is Vintage Photo, and this is Evergreen Bow or bow or however you say it. And then I've just attached a bit of thread there and tucked it under his hoof so it looks like he's holding the balloon. So that's the Legen-dairy again. I've got this one here, which is from the Count On Me set. The background paper here is actually, let me just double check. Yeah, it's actually our Rainbow Pie 3D pad. It was the Rainbow Pie pad that sold out on HobbyMaker, but we've got a 3D version that's got sort of slightly more shadowing on some of the elements on there to make it look slightly 3D. That's actually sold out as well on our own website, but that will be back in stock on Monday. So if you want to get hold of that one, it's very similar to the Rainbow Pie, but it's just got, if I can try and bring that up so you can see, it's just got a kind of, almost looks embossed. So that's that one. And then the paper here is from our Alpaca Pie paper pad, but actually you could do the same effect with the coffee and cream or whatever, but I've just used it for the dog and for the background there. This is actually a sentiment from our sentiments paper pad, which is literally a whole paper pad full of sentiments, some cheeky ones, some generic ones, some scripty fonts, some cute fonts, some typewritery type font, some black on white and some white on black. The idea being you could ink these if you wanted to, the black on white. So that is in stock on our website as well. So that's the Count On Me dog. It's got a bit ruffled up there. So that's that one. Then I've got, again, the Count On Me. This one's been stamped onto our coffee and cream paper pad. It works beautifully for these characters. And then this one was stamped on our Rainbow Pie paper pad. And then the background is from our Meadow Days paper pad. And the sentiment again was from our sentiments pad. So it's lots of mixture of different paper pads and using the Count On Me stamp set. So a cute little tag there. It's actually a card, so it does actually stand up. So that's that one. Then I've got, again, similarly, I've stamped the dog onto the coffee and cream paper pad. I've used a sentiment from our sentiments paper pad, and then the background is just our Meadow Nights. So the idea was that I was kind of trying to show how you could use both the Meadow Days and the Meadow Nights with the same dog. So that's the Count On Me dog. I'm not sure that the Count On Me dog, the Count On Me set is still in stock on HobbyMaker. I think it may have sold out. If it has sold out, you can obviously get it on our own website as well. Again, this is Count On Me. I've used the numbers from, I'll show you, where's the Count On Me here? Actually, I've used the dog from here, and the numbers actually came from our Bits and Bobs stamp set that's got a number section on it. I've just used that in the same way as I showed you with the Words Cute set, where I just used my finger just to not get the whole impression of the stamp, just to get some elements. So I've done that just to match up, because the Count On Me dog has got some numbers on his ear and his face and so on there. So I've just tried to replicate that, and this is just softly watercoloured using distress inks. I believe this is frayed burlap, this colour, and then the background is bundled sage and speckled egg. Again, that's my go-to. So that's that one. Then I've got this one here, and I have to say Stop Yourself, which featured on the show, is actually a slightly older set, and having played with it to get the samples ready for the TV shows, I actually fell in love with it all over again. These foliage elements are just beautiful, and the wreath as well, the bubble wreath, it's so useful. So I have used this leaf here and just white embossed it onto this card, and then I've inked with evergreen bough again, I think, and bundled sage, just to create that, and then just splattered it a little bit with water and splattered it with the ink colours, a few sequins. And then I've just stamped the hay from the new set onto some vellum and wrapped it round to create that, and popped it on a card that's kind of tone on tone. So that Stop Yourself set is beautiful for backgrounds. I've used it quite a lot. This is also one. So the Stop Yourself, this stamp from there, along with this stamp, makes a great, you can layer it up really lovely. I've created that whole background. You could do that in any colour scheme. It would look lovely if these this ring part was maybe embossed with gold or silver or something like that. You could do a rainbow of colours with the hearts. And again, I've used the hay sentiment in the middle there. Just literally ripped it, shifted them apart, and stamped in the gap. So that's that one. Again, I've used that same heart stamp, and I've actually embossed it with like a speckled kind of bluey goldy kind of colour embossing powder. The white stamp behind is actually from one of our other sets called Grateful, that comes with just a like a giant spot stamp. And yeah, just a vellum wrap again on that, just to pop your sentiment on. Again, you could have used this one onto the vellum, but this is a card that I made before I had that stamp set, so that's that. This one I absolutely love. It is the simplest, small card, simple card, but I just love how it turned out. So again, this is the Stop Yourself set, and I've just used the bird and this leaf. I've just stamped the leaf 3 times, and I've just die cut the circle, but I've lifted I just cut part of the leaf here and here away and die cut it, lifted this on top of the die as I put it through the machine so it didn't cut through those parts, and then I popped some extra leaves underneath as well, just to add a bit of extra. And then the Hope You Are Well is from the hay stamp set again. So really simple, as I said, but just very effective. These being coloured again with bundled sage, peeled paint, speckled egg and scorched timber for the little bird. And then I've used the bubble wreath from the Stop Yourself set here, and I've just watercoloured with some sort of muted rainbow colours. And then I've just used one of the cows from the Legen-dairy set. The pink kind of picks up. The good thing about colouring, I find, colouring the images with the distress inks, is that you can always match up your background, because you can, you know, ink through. Sometimes if you use things like alcohol markers or something like that, it's not as easy to match up the colours with your background. So I find that really good for colouring and creating the backgrounds to match. This one, again, I've used the Stop Yourself. I've used this stamp here, and I've just used it to create a background, and I've used one of the cows on the front. And then the Awesome is from the special stamp set that was on the shows earlier this week, and I've just put Awesome is my middle name, and I've stamped it in the same colour as the background. I've just over stamped it a couple of times just to make it a bit bolder. So that's that one. Okay, for this one I've used the foliage from here, from the Birthday Pheasant set, and I've used 2 colours on the ink. So I've just literally, I used Versacolour ink cubes, and I've just literally picked the 2 colours, and I've used the lighter colour on one end and the darker colour on the other, and just stamped it down. I have to admit, I don't use any of the stamper rings at the moment. I tend to prefer a kind of more random look. And so I've just literally drawn around a circle and in pencil, and then just literally stamped roughly round, and then rubbed out the pencil afterwards. I've used the text again in the same way as before, popped some splattered on, and then coloured the cow from Legen-dairy, this one here, with his wellies and his t-shirt on. Again, the colours match nicely with with the background there. I just love, we love a wreath, but the way with the dual tone of colours as well, it just looks lovely. For this one I've done a similar thing, but for this one I used the foliage from the Stop Yourself. So I've used this leaf here from Stop Yourself, and again I've just created a wreath there. I've used the two colours on one stamp as well, and used the Hey, and I've chosen the How You Doing, so it's Hey, how you doing, and then I've used the cow from the Legen-dairy set. So really easy to build up a quick scene there. Okay, this one's a little bit different for me. There's not an ounce of white space. And I've used, what colours did I use? I used spun sugar, I used bundled sage, speckled egg, and antique linen. And all I've done is I've white embossed the text circles from the Count on Me. So I used the small one here, and I've white embossed that on the background. And then I've inked, so you can see the white embossing there. It's just so it resisted the ink, and I inked all over the page. I then used our Heart Trail stencil, again it's on our own website, just to add some interest across the back there. I also used the text stamp from Words Cute, just to add some extra elements, and then just coloured the pheasant from Birthday Pheasant in the same colours as I used for the background, and then Make Happiness a Habit, and I've just used the stapler there just to attach that on. So a bit different for me, like I say, no white space in sight. But I like the colour scheme. I think obviously it's not traditional pheasant colours, but I think it looks okay. Okay, this one is just to show you again how I've used the bubble wreath. This isn't the character that was on the show, but it's from our We've Got Chemistry set. It's a little monkey chemist with his test tube there, but it works quite nicely for that with the rainbows and so on. So I just thought I'd bring that one in. That's from the Stop Yourself set. It's really handy for that. And in the same way I've used it here, and I've stamped it in a real pale colour, and then I've watercoloured in real pastel-y kind of colours to create that bubble wreath there. And this stamp is from our So Grateful set. It says grapes, one of your 5 a day, in brackets, liquid form. So that's a cute way of using that bubble wreath as well. And then using the Gifted set. So let's just bring in that so you can see. So this is the Gifted set. So with the 3 presents with the animals popping out. So we've got 2 tags. I did the elephant and the rhino there. Again, inked through using stencils in the background. This is a die cut that I masked off and then inked. Just some scribble around the outside. Happy Cake Day on this one, and Hip Hip Hooray on this one. This was using Random Dots stencil. And then the hearts are actually from the Gifted set as well. They're these ones here, so that's great for building up a bit of a background. So that's those Gifted ones. And then this is from Gifted as well. Just used that spot stamp that I told you about. I think is on our Grateful set, and created a background, and then matched up the colours and did the little gift there. Hip Hip Hooray, open a gift day. So that's that one. And then this one I've used all 3 of the characters on the same card. Again, our Heart Trail stencil, you can see how much I use that one. And just use the 3 different colours that I'd used here on the background to colour the 3 different ribbons. So that's got a nice way of tying up the colours. I've got this card here which uses the this stamp here from Birthday Pheasant, and I've white embossed it again on the background, and then I've just gone in with peeled paint and shabby shutters, I think it was, just to ink so far up the card. And then I've used the special stamp set and heat embossed it onto the vellum, and then used it as a band around the card. And I've used You Are Special, Enough Said. Excuse me. So just to give you an idea, so that's embossed right the way. So if you wanted to, you could ink the whole background, or you could not stamp up in the top half, but I just like the look of having it all stamped, but then just using the ink just on. And what I've also done here is, so I inked up using the blending brushes, but then I took some more intense colour of that same ink, so the peeled paint, and just coloured in the hearts and the foliage on there, just to make them pop a little bit. Okay, this one is a card that I shared, I think earlier today or yesterday, and I've stamped the fox onto our coffee and cream paper pad. And then what I did is, when I cut him out, I actually cut out so that the daisy that is on, actually. So this daisy, I just removed that and I just cut it out, and I cut round the hand that's in the, or the paw that's in the forefront there, and then I just tucked inside the stems of, I've got a bit squashed in the post, but you get the idea, and just pop those flowers in so that it's actually a bit more 3D. And then the background paper again is from Coffee and Cream, so it's good to kind of use the papers for both, you know, they're going to match because they're from the same collection. So that's that one. This one's really different for me, really bright colours, and it's using the Dina Wakley neon scribble sticks. I just wanted to give them a go, so I thought, well, why not have a neon pheasant? So I've used the All and Create dies, and then it says You Crazy Bird, and I've just used some of the other some of the stamps from let's have a look, from the Bits and Bobs that I think those hearts are from, and this one's from the Bits and Bob, and the stitching and everything. So there's lots of different ways you can just pop everything. So I've kind of thrown everything at this card, really. Lots of different stamps. The words cute is in the background as well, and then I've just stamped it and just coloured it in with the scribble sticks. So bright card, that one. Again, this one's using the Birthday Pheasant, and I've just watercoloured it using Distress Inks, and I've used the foliage from the Stop Yourself set here, and I've just stamped them in the background to build up a bit of a layer. This was masked off and inked, and then the sentiment, just wanted to say you're the best, is from the Hey stamp set. So there's lots of different sentiments on that set. You can really mix them up and make it suitable for any occasion, really, or for any sort of project you're working on. This one, just stamped and coloured using distress crayons. So all I've done is I put up a sped up video of a demonstration similar to this, and you just literally put the distress crayons and then just with a use a wet wipe or something like that just to dampen your finger, and then just smudge it out and onto craft card, and then some white pencil or white distress inks to make the whites of the fox and also of the daisy. And then I've stamped in white the words cute in the background, again just random stamping, and then I've cut out a vellum heart there just to give it a bit of extra interest. So that's a cute but very simple card. This one I demoed one very similar in the YouTube video that I put up, the previous one that I put up on Monday or Tuesday this week, that just went through all the stamp sets. I actually demoed how to do this one. You can see there, so this is the one I made originally, this is the one I demonstrated, so they've turned out slightly different, but you can see how when you stamp onto your papers, you can really pick, especially with the rainbow ones as they are, you can really pick how you want the pheasant to be coloured depending on where you stamp. So that's that one, and the Bits and Bobs are the splatters and the stitches and so on in the background. Then I've got this one, again just using a portion of the stamp. So this is from the Birthday Pheasant set, this is from Birthday Pheasant as well. I've stamped it onto here, but I've just cut a little bit to tuck the frame behind there, and then the words cute again I've used in the background and just splattered a little bit in the same colours as from the images. Really simple again, but quite effective. And these two actually are ones that I have done sped up videos for. They're both what's the other one? So these both use the same technique. So so if you haven't seen the video that I did before, I can do a full length one if people would like to see it sort of in real time. But all I did was I put the craft card into the stamp platform, stamped in a pale colour, used the distress crayons to ink around following the lines of the pale image, smudged them with my fingers. Then once I'd coloured everything the way I wanted to colour it, I stamped again using the stamp platform. Obviously it's easy to do that. Stamped in black over the top, which puts your lines back in place. And then I stamped onto some masking tape. It's the reels of tape that Lisa Horton does. I used that, stamped onto it, cut out so that I masked the whole of him off, and then used distress crayons to create the background there and smudged that out. And then I've used the words cute again in the background just to add a bit of extra interest. So that's a really fun technique, and it's really good for images like this that are a little bit bigger, that you've got sort of enough room that you can use those crayons and so on. It's difficult to get into intricate areas with them, but for images like that they're perfect. this one again, Birthday Pheasant. This is the Vine Circle stencil that's on our website. And again, the word's cute in the background there. Just traditional pheasant colouring. So just really quick and simple card. This one again, I've used the foliage from the Birthday Pheasant, this one. And I've just stamped and embossed it as I did before. This time I only did the bottom half of the card. I've used bundled sage, speckled egg, and then I've just again gone in with the colour just to make them a bit, make the hearts pop out a little bit. I've just put extra colour in those, like coloured them in. Again, I've used the same colours for the pheasant, the bundled sage, speckled egg, and then the new one, the scorched timber as well. So, and then this is the sentiment from the Stop Yourself set. Thank you for being you, which is a really lovely size stamp as well. So that's a lovely soft card. This one just simply stamped in a pale colour, coloured in with distress inks, applied with a paintbrush, and then the sentiments are just from the Hey stamp set. So that's just a really simple one. Then I've just added the grass in. So really, really simple. This one uses the words cute set, and for those of you who didn't catch that on TV or on my video, you can literally stamp this bear, and then the 3 different items here, so the paintbrush, the flower and the heart, all come with like a section missing, so you can position it so that it looks like it's holding. So you stamp the bear first, and then you take one of these stamps and position it so that it looks like he's holding one of those 3 things there. So it's really easy to line up. There's nothing kind of too complicated about it. So I've no line coloured him onto craft card with the paintbrush, and then I've in the background here I've used one of our other paper pads from Rainbow's Rule, and I've actually put it through the foiling machine and made it gold just to match the gold of the frame there, so it looks like he's framing some art. And then I've used the words cute in the background there, stamped in white. So mixture of different products there, quite an effective look overall. This one I've used our Rainbow Stripes, I think it is. Yes, it is. Rainbow Stripes paper pad. Again, this will be back in stock on our own website on Monday. And then I've just used one of the die cuts from my stash to make it look like he's holding the love you there. So that's kind of a fun way of using that. This one, I've made it look like he's painting the hearts here, which is part of our coffee and cream paper pad. So literally just stamped and coloured the bear here. This again is scorched timber. It's kind of fast becoming my go-to brown for my characters. Just stamped the paintbrush there. I've used a bit of silver pen on the part of the paintbrush there, that's the metal part, and yeah, just simply took the piece of paper from the coffee and cream set and just layered him on top. And then creativity takes courage from the words cute set as well. Okay, this one uses the Count on Me the word. This is quite a sizable size. It makes great background, and I've embossed it in like a goldy colour. I've also used one of the watermark pens and just run it down the side here to add a little bit of extra gold there to match with the background. Then I've used the bear, this time holding the daisy, and then I've used the sentiment from the Count on Me set as well. You can count on me for sure, that's what friends are for. So that's quite a fun, quite a nice card, and really shiny as well there. Then similarly, I've created a wreath using the Stop Yourself foliage again here, and I've used the 2 different colours and just used a rough circle as a guide, and then I've used the words cute again just randomly around the outside there, and then just coloured them in. This is the same colour as I used for the wreath, so it's just tying up the colours there, and then You Are Very Special, that's also from the words cute. So it's a fun one. This one here again, the bear from words cute. Speckled egg was the colour I used for the heart, and scorched timber again for the bear. And then I used the same colours, scorched timber and speckled egg, distress oxides through our new, so this is Rainbow Trio stencil. So the brown part is Rainbow 1, the stencil. The second, it comes as a 3-pack on our website, and they come individually, but as 3 to sort of individually packed, if you like, but the 3 of them together. So this is Rainbow 1, the blue part is Rainbow 2, and the gold there that I've used Lisa Horton's flash pastes with Rainbow 3 to put that extra detail on there. And the The good thing about having 3 separate stencils for this is that you don't have to worry about contaminating when you're inking this one. It doesn't sort of fall into this one as much because you've got extra space. So it's having those two portions on one, the blue portions on the other, and the gold on is the third portion. So it's quite a fun. The flash pastes are just amazing. There's such shine on there. Next I have got just a simple cute card using the Envelopals. And this one, where is it? So I've just literally stamped the envelope, and then I've stamped the little kangaroo inside the envelope. It's quite easy to line up, and I've done it again, no line colouring. Just literally used a bit of pumice stone and some scorched timber, very pale, with a lot of water, just to give the edges of the envelope, and then scorched timber for the little guy inside. And then I've used the stitching and the hearts on here are from the Bits and Bobs stamp set, and the Sending Smiles is a sentiment from Envelopals. So just a really simple card and some splatter, obviously, because most of my cards have splatters on. This one is possibly one of my favourite with the Envelopals, which is a bit bizarre, bearing in mind it doesn't actually contain the envelope, but I've used 3 of the characters. So I've used the kangaroo, the meerkat and the elephant, and I've turned them into like a jungle theme. So I've used a jungle embossing folder at the background, some foliage that I've coloured jungly kind of colours, and then they're just peeking through the windows there. So sentiment's actually from, I think it's Wealth of Wishes, which is a stamp set that's on our own website. So yeah, that's a cute card. And then again with the Envelopals, this is the Heartburst stencil. You could find that on Lisa Horton's website. It's a part of a collection that I designed, a splash collection for her. And then I've used the little cow here, and I've actually put some actual flowers in the background as well, some paper flowers rather than just stamping. So that's how I've created that. It's got quite a lot of dimension. And then Sending Love is again from the Envelopals stamp set. Almost there, guys, almost there. So this is from the Sending Smile stamp set, which is the little elephants. That's sold out on HobbyMaker. Trying to find it. Yep, here it is. Everything's on the floor now. So that's the Sending Smile stamp set. It was really popular. As I said, it's sold out. I think it's available still on my own website if you want to get hold of that one. The elephants are just super cute, and I've coloured that in using our pumice stone distress ink, and it actually works really nicely. You kind of think that's a grey, but actually it's got a kind of brown undertone to it, so it works really well with the coffee and cream paper pad. And then, just excuse me one moment. Sorry about that, guys. So then I've got Sending Smiles again, and I've used the butterfly. There's 2 butterflies on that set, one going to the left and one going to the right, and I've used 4 of them on there. And this paper is from the Rainbow Pie, so anyone that got their hands on that, it makes a great background for those elephants. And again, no line colouring with distress inks in pumice stone there. And all I've done is try to pick out the rainbow colours that from the Rainbow Pie background. This one is again Sending Smiles, and I've actually used the flowers that are designed to kind of come out of his trunk, which they do there. I've actually just used them in 3 different shades of the purple just to create the wreath there in the background. So it's a good way. Always look at the small accent stamps on your sets, because it's really good to try and build up a bigger image using the small stamps. They're really sort of they're so useful, and you know, people think they're just fillers, but actually they can do a really good job on your cards. The stitching here is from the Bits and Bobs set as well, so that's a nice one. This one again using the Coffee Cuties, and I've used the coffee and cream paper pad there. That's just a die that I had in my stash, the background die, and I've coloured it in the elephant there and in the espresso mug, and I've used the bow as well to pop on its head there. So that's really cute, and coffee because adulting is hard. So that's from the Coffee Cuties. This one again is from Coffee Cuties, but I've not used the coffee cup. I've just literally used the cat from that stamp set and just used a frame, and the Count on Me background stamp there again in gold. and then the sentiment. Of all the weirdos in the world, you're my favourite is from our sentiments pad. Then for this one, again, Coffee Cuties, and I've just masked and piled up the espresso cups into a rainbow stack there. Coffee with a Friend, the perfect blend, and the 2 elephants there. So although he's designed to sit on top of the coffee cup like the others, like this, you can actually use him in or her in different positions. So again, like I say, that's the Coffee Cutie stamp set. And last but not least, I've got a tag that I use the Coffee Cuties mug and dinosaur from. But what I've actually done is I've used the stamp from Stop Yourself, the bubble stamp here, and I've created it to look like a bubble tea. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't actually drink bubble tea, but I know how popular it is. And I've used the sentiment here, Totally Bubblicious, from our Bubblicious stamp set. And I've used the Your Tea-rific from our Teacup Treasures set. So it's kind of a real mix-up of different stamps. But I think it creates quite a cute, and I love the colour scheme. It's quite bright and vibrant. I think this is Cracked Pistachio and Twisted Citron are the 2 colours that I've used. And I've used those colours to colour the dinosaur, and also to colour the bubble tea and the heart, and also on the background as well. And again, that's our heart trail stencil that's been used in the background there. So that's a fun way of doing it. Last but not least, actually, I just want to run through. So this Movements paper pad, I just had this need to do a paper pad with the cow prints ready to use with the Legen-dairy set, but I of course had been planning the shows on HobbyMaker for quite some time, and this paper pad arrived last week, so it was too late to put on the shows, but I needed to do it, inspired by my daughter, who's obsessed with cows, and I just thought it would be perfect to go with the cow stamp sets, but also you could use it in its own right with other things as well. So this will be available on our website with the launch tonight at 6 o'clock, and it's got lots of different, I'll try and show you some of the different designs. So 10 designs, 3 of each. So some just cow prints, some kind of more subtle cow prints, rainbow, just black and white, and then that's not got any cows. You could use that with any character really. Yeah, so similar to our normal kind of paper pads. Again, that's not got any cow reference on it, so you could use that one for any of your characters. So I needed to bring that one because it was just, yeah, it just works perfectly with the cows. So that's Movements that will be available on our website tonight, along with the rest of the release at 6 p.m. Keep an eye on our social media and also on our website, because we're getting a lot of restocks of paper pads on our website on Monday. So I'll try and get those loaded as quickly as I can. So if there's any of the paper pads you want, then please let us know. Please don't forget to share your makes when you start creating with our products, if you've bought them from HobbyMaker or from us. And can't wait to see what you do with them. Hope that's been helpful just to see those samples, and have a lovely weekend, everybody.